Omade shema mu nyina ha UTV esude obemu nsem ne amahodo so de awosamu fo asonso no ena wie ye de esomo kasebo ekwan so ensem ne bia etodwa ene se aban kuntabu odwumadi a wode ahyehye so ama asoye so obu nkonta ede kire wo man no ene aduru asoye a ehwe nsomnam ne mpata ho nsem so ya wono mu akobuon de kama ede akire oman Ghana ewo ensem fufuro mu nso eyade a panyi kwankyerefo a woda keteche adwumakuo na no wakọ ensahwe ewo emiamia hodo ya yedi nnwuma ahyehye so ewo atoye mantam no emu saa ne ebobo hwi akopie mu ewo chairman ko kansam a wode atodwa ese eye ne wanwan se bampanyi John Dramani Mahama ene ne vice president Professor Jenna na Opoku Ajiman edi besi nei na no pinchen a ekọ so wa Blekuma North no wo mu nka eho hwe no oni ho adwiri ne papa saa so na wonmu a eye insurance so watchre won se won fa abefo kwa so eni ondwuma se de be ye obetumi asom tomamufo wosompa ensem afoforo bi ka wenum ho na awia mede esom mo se kasebo mede de amasa ponkumankoma jesi afei yenhwe ensem no ankasa Chief Executive Officer Edema Railway Development Authority na wako ensahwe wato emantem akohwe yeketeke akwan de ama contract de access de sese ye wo ho no wodnani akodi achi
ya ban e ka say e be complete abandoned project there and we are part of our promise as a government say ye be say twaso at least anye hwe kra na say twaso kopem insuta say ene ma for track ni so you only 15 kilometers to Isuta. In the 15 kilometers no. Osha eno na ebe I say boy hu modern near Pisca. Near complete say adwuma no. But ye can say no. I say ma Ghana for so hu and for so a railway transport on. So enti dodo na amount bisa say oh na adenti na I say spending car railway kwan. I say spending car because offer 1 ton biano. Ube transport fee in Suta Krako Takra Depot no $7.50. What they call a year over 10 million metric tons now GMC pese or more haul krana at the Takra Depot. You are looking roughly at $75 million. Yes, I was yes, I was in a far quine, so a quine in say a quine a year from 2004 per in say and back away we know what and trucks you who can way soon and can win them on the far. Over the total metric tons are a waso, or they can in a new ever can in Sutawan. You are looking at 25 million metric tons. Sadly, we see a whole for railway in this war. Consecutively, you are looking at an amount of about $150 million per annum. And really, a year and share by now as part of a flagship policy 24-hour economy. So railway is one of the pillar or cornerstone of the 24-hour economic policy. It means that I'm saying from one bench track in the far. The only say interministerial task force, so I will say your routine, into one spot check on a year by who police form war a so. But I'm saying for us, they say, with a bibanajo, a biberia, ultimate prediction. Into with that interministerial task force, now I bear routine. A bit me abwa, I'm a yet to us here. In the NSO no share a president or a hard drain, but more a regime say, we push Messiah to a newly constituted board name, almost with Naboy, me a push agenda no. The minister Naboy me a protecting line from the Galam sayers.
Your bar hands more smooth money, semi encroachment. I know a day. Inti a befa for the case years, as a man for. It's a real line, as I say, a bindia, and I say rail line a Ghana railway development. Yeah, construction per what we receive as a handing over notes. Obi bia railway no afana asasi subiani yetuanika. Ama asasi no ye wo hutu. Nti ebesre se wudi udwuma ewo saa kwan ne so a hwe ne jai.
Acting Director Edema National Information Technology Agency Trinity say Nita Ede Atu Ejase wo share animu se o my Ghana ye betumi abeye abbe fontenten fidie esu dwadie atena ye kese ya ebe bibremu aman nyina Ghana ye na ye hwedi kan ekwam.
Ghana recognizes this new reality, and over the past decade we have made significant strides towards building the infrastructure, institutional frameworks, and digital literacy required to take advantage of these changes. We have invested in broadband expansion, e-government platforms, national identification systems, cybersecurity frameworks, and youth-oriented technology programs. Yet, despite this progress, much remains to be done. Our ambition is not just to be digitally active, but to be digitally competitive. Our vision is to see Ghana become Africa's leading digital trade hub, a regional center where ideas, technologies, services, and innovations converge and thrive. This year's ICT Week, therefore, serves both as a celebration of our achievements and as a clarion call for renewed commitment. The objectives of the National ICT Week celebration are to, 1, explore Ghana's potentials as Africa's digital trade powerhouse, which will be hinged on strategic conversations on Ghana's preparedness to lead as a digital trade hub on the continent. The second objective of the National ICT Week celebration is to shape forward-thinking policies for a thriving digital economy with the intention to uncover key policy and regulatory reforms needed to position Ghana as a leader in Africa's digital trade landscape. Third, to strengthen trust in the digital marketplace by highlighting Ghana's evolving digital trust framework, which is a cornerstone for building a secure, inclusive, and reliable digital ecosystem. 4, to celebrate Ghana's digital breakthroughs by showcasing groundbreaking innovations in e-commerce, digital payments, and logistics that are redefining the business landscape. 5, ignite cross-sector collaborations and investments by facilitating meaningful partnerships between government, industry leaders, and global investors to fuel growth and innovation. And 6, to pave the way for a connected data economy by driving leadership to implement a national data exchange hub and robust data governance framework to power Ghana's integrated data-driven future. We are targeting as our audience government officials from mainly the Ministry of Trade, our Ministry, Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations, Bank of Ghana, the AFTA Secretariat. We are also looking at tech and fintech companies, banks. We are looking at e-commerce platforms, investors and development partners, the World Bank, GIZ, UNDP. We are looking at startups and entrepreneurs, academia and think tanks.
Aban ayone se enkuntabuo eho dwumadie enkoso brano se de beya Ghana fo bedi wani ebedi asoya hodro no wonwumadi a wodi akire no ene adru asoya a ehwe nsuomunam eho nsam so na soafo ekogina Jubilee House no ensem ni bia wodi tu dwa no yenko na yenkotie.
Blue economy agenda. Some of the things we have done in the past 6 months include: 1, passage of the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2025 to achieve a meaningful reset of the fishery sector in our national interest, and also to address issues of the infamous EU yellow card on Ghana's fisheries. The ministry worked very hard for the review of the Fisheries Law Act 625. I am pleased to announce to you the passage of the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2025 by Parliament. This landmark legislation represents a transformative step toward a sustainable, equitable, and economically viable fisheries sector. The new act is a comprehensive legal framework aligned with international standards. It establishes an independent fisheries commission to oversee the management, conservation, development, and sustainable use of Ghana's fisheries and aquaculture resources. By strengthening the legal and regulatory framework, the bill enhances Ghana's global credibility, especially with key export partners such as the European Union. It addresses critical compliance gaps in licensing, reporting, and enforcement, helping to avoid trade restrictions or sanctions, including potential red card penalties if we do not work to lift the EU yellow card that has been placed on Ghana since it's been 5 years now. And we have such a small window to work to lift it. Otherwise, we get into a red card status, and that works negatively in the interest of Ghana fisheries. This safeguards over $425 million in annual seafood exports and secures jobs, incomes, and national revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, importantly, the legislation introduces stricter penalties and enforcement tools to curb illegal fishing, protect marine biodiversity, and rebuild overexploited fish stocks. It also places emphasis on ensuring the safety, security, and welfare of all personnel working aboard fishing vessels. In a major gain for coastal communities and Ghana's fisheries resources, the bill expands the inshore exclusive zone to 12 nautical miles or a 50-meter depth. This will protect critical breeding grounds and enhance the productivity and livelihoods of over the 2.7 million Ghanaians who depend on small-scale fishing. You may recall the European Commission identified Ghana as a non-cooperating third-party country in the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing in June 2021 and issued Ghana a yellow card in accordance with Article 32 of Council Regulation EC number 1005/2008. The issues raised by the European Commission included the expired Marine Fisheries Management Plan, transshipment at sea, inconsistencies in the existing fisheries legal framework, and deficiencies in the monitoring, control, and surveillance of fleet. The passage of the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill is a major step in lifting the yellow card and in Ghana's fisheries reform agenda. The ministry commends Parliament for its bipartisan support and assures stakeholders of our full commitment to operationalizing the new law for the benefit of current and future generations. It is important to note that as part of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's program to reset Ghana, this particular bill was taken under a certificate of urgency from the presidency. 2. Ratification of the World Trade Organization Agreement on Fisheries Subsidies. On 9th June 2025, Ghana ratified the WTO Agreement on Fisheries Subsidies, a major step toward promoting sustainable fisheries and tackling illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. The agreement prohibits harmful subsidies that lead to overfishing and overcapacity, reinforcing Ghana's commitment to responsible fisheries governance. Once again, the ministry applauds Parliament for supporting this process for the ratification of the WTO Agreement on Fisheries Subsidies. Next, implementation of the 2025 closed season. Ladies and gentlemen, in line with our national fisheries strategy and global best practices, the ministry implemented a modified 2025 closed season to allow fish stocks to replenish as follows. Industrial trawlers. We observed a closed season from July to 31st August 2025, a 2-month period, close season for industrial trawlers. For semi-industrial inshore vessels, a close season was observed from 1st to 31st July 2025, a 1-month close season. For artisanal canoe fishers, they were exempted from the 2025 closure but were still required to comply with all traditional and statutory regulations. Next, establishment of Ghana's first marine protected area. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture is advancing in the establishment of Ghana's first marine protected area.
Kane NPP drum treni edema efija kwabre south ye chairman odene ho kwaku apia ye na hotedin edikoka wode atodwa se said Mampanyin John Dramani Mahama ene na bedi eche Professor Jenna no Opoku Ajiman aka wonoma no atomu na anu ablekuma north by election course so pinchen na yi ne ti ewo ho no ne ho adwe no eye ne nwanwa
ade ba ko pa medi President Mahama ho yaw eti the vice president ho yaw pa ne se asime si ablekuma nyina no President Mahama wanka ho asem ebesi ne one ne vice omo nka ho asem na se yetimamu yinya presidenta otimi da bisi wo se da no Ghana fo nyina ye de kokko bompaye ni e bompaye wie na asem se kakaka se si prom na memma se wo ba e wo fom na presidenta wo se kokko bompaye ni nya akontre dako wo ye si ho na odwene mu a on se connection no enko ye na ubisa ho se ye president no empire na o me ko boye no I am buyer near buy a because when say a cry a person buy your buy a day. Get one buy a president. Obiakutetia, a man, member bed 10 and 15. I could take your bar, one can once a business. The vice of your bar, a business, one can once. Now, yet a crow, na obi, a BB, ye none, a high, ye can once a one. On the cost way. I buy ye, you woman, a business. Yenchi obia to say e basana ema e krono amotoswe yo police no na so ye de eya de ati ti mesre police for say so obi eya to twasem obi edi bone a police for ensolimu omusolimu a ye fa ne court ba bia omanya kwakodu no police for omuno police you see benya omanya ye be police for a omuye CPP for a police for me MPP for police for me NDC for o minor we are in trouble mesre say baby adu no e was say police for edi o police hwe asem si wa bekuma no police for gina ho obehwe no afa ho wa no okọ police for ejina ho no afa ho wa no okọ mbisa mo say na die police na e ba so okọ mo dan sen enti no mesre police ni bi akoso ye MPP ana wo ye NDC ana wo ye CPP no mesre no atare no onko wu ho na woni
Abusua yatoa ensam no so na Ghana Entrepreneurship Foundation wonomo edi enipadua baako eni ya wo ye ewuranom a wode wadwene no onim dia nyamedem a won siasa nnwuma ede boa oman a wotemo no ema echekọ aman afoforo so na ye kase ye kane saade a na wontumi enyi ewuranom mienu a ede adwuma yi ano emfirimo kofabaifo yewura Dr. Osekwame despite ene Dr. Ernest Ofosapon ye bo wonom abaso ewo dwumade na se na npompon so no kakra ye de mamahwene
Ghana Entrepreneurship Awards eyidwumedie shronko a empanyufo edehyehyɛ so edehye mabunu dodo na nkran se wankasa wo ho a obetimi de wonsa ye bibi ama won so wababaye odwumayeni na dwumedie ni fa etoso dunum ni nti empanyufo ehyen ho fa kama afei ye empanyufo ahodo a eba no enwuma mu a omo nimdia ahodo a omo ankasa so ede nipa aba ye dwaman so ye bo mabaso ebi ne kwankyerefo panyi a Despite Group of Companies wodano Dr. Osai Kwame Despite Afe kwantrefo panyi Emma special group of companies Dr. Ernest Oforisapon. Na yebo yempanyimfo yabaso emomo most influential entrepreneurs of all time. Eho ena odmunyafo Elvis Efree Ankra awoyetisneni Emma National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. Ekasafa hia ehia se owo honomu a wankasa befa onimdie so aye bibi ama wo hu.
The Ghanaian entrepreneur has weathered many storms, from high inflation and currency depreciation to global supply chain disruptions and domestic policy constraints. And yet, you have endured, you have improvised, you have created, and you have prevailed. On behalf of the President and Government of Ghana, I salute your indomitable spirit. This celebration is not merely ceremonial, it is deeply symbolic. It tells every young Ghanaian that entrepreneurship is not just an option, it is a powerful tool for national transformation. And tonight, we celebrate not only recent accomplishments, but also lifetime achievements.
Enwechi ena penyi kofabai Emma Entrepreneurs Foundation of Ghana Sam Atugezi ekasa say owo honom na wodo wonsa ye bibia ebwe yie papa sense obetina honom so bi mefo wadwumem do kire mu se obesre mabunu no say ye papa Dr. Osai Kwame despite eni ni nua be ma Dr. Ernest Oforisapon enye hwesode kase emfama wom.
Every time me can say so national service no or see take a second look at it. National service should be entrepreneurship. It shouldn't be public or private public service. It should be private sector. One point, if you look at our system now, the reason why Kodano obia per se the baby school okoye abenjuma because we no national service na abenjuma okoye awa koye ne de. What you say? Nanka ye system be say we nanka wo kọ makola. And I say we call other places koye adwuma. We say ehon sika wo ho. Chen tire bebo. Who doesn't respect Osei Kwame Dr. Oforisapon? So they started like how some of us started, but look at how we do.
Enwechi ena Lebanon anemu senior weyememo His Excellency Mahake ebo empenyufo abaso ewudwumedie shunko a omo ediaba magana emebunu.
To the awardees, your achievements are not only a reflection of excellence, but of real impact. You are building industries, creating opportunities, and shaping the future with a purpose. As we look ahead to the next chapter, let us continue working together to foster entrepreneurship that inclusive, sustainable and visionary for Ghana, for Africa, and for generations.
8th Ghana Insurance Awards jumedie so akoso ewo nkran ha na we ma ho kwan ma ni ntie ne akukuda ma wabene ewo insurance jumedie no mum hyiehia ehwe susudura wodidi dwuma se wo ye ne yie na no na ababeto edwase eho behia ese insurance for no peso wodi won dwuma na treka Ghana ni ba bia de a na enei ye kwa no abefo kwa so nti won so esakra wo.
It is more than just awards for me. It is a celebration of an industry that plays a pivotal role in national development, social protection, and economic resilience. Insurance is often seen as a safety net, but in truth, it is much more than that. It is a catalyst for economic activity, a pillar of risk management, and a partner in public safety. In today's dynamic world, insurance must move beyond the traditional to become an engine for innovation, a driver of trust, and a contributor of national goals such as road safety and compliance. Insurance is the lifeblood of relevance and growth. From digital platforms to AI-driven underwriting to usage-based insurance and mobile claims processing, the future belongs to those who embrace technology. For us at the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, innovation is not just a buzzword, it is a mission for us. As we recognize tonight's awardees, let us be reminded that excellence is not a destination, It is a journey, and innovation is the fuel for that journey. Congratulations to all nominees and winners. Your hard work, dedication, and impact are shaping the future of insurance in Ghana. At GIPC, we have embarked on a new journey through our research strategy to reposition Ghana as a competitive and investor-friendly destination. A key pillar of that strategy is strengthening sectors like the insurance sector that provides long-term economic stability. The GIPC research strategy also aligns closely with the government's 24-hour economy vision. But for that vision to thrive, we need a robust insurance ecosystem that reduces risk and entrepreneurship, protects lives and livelihoods, and supports innovation at scale. And that's why tonight matters. Your excellence, your bold thinking, and your services to the Republic are a foundational to Ghana's transformation.
So Ghana Insurance Awards there, I say, Kumadega Mikase, Abasobode Wunya pa na ama competition be aba omumwa every year be so be banu one of the new product aba. For instance, last year be the product by which was targeted like with my scratch crowd was signing up. And then this year so be so buy ya also combining 3 different insurance together into fee or car. And maybe other things all together. So I am going to different ones and other. So mission so am go for me adoye CSR ni and can be bring na ehun djuma. Now about claims. Who say na ya na Ghana for say and insurance fund tia insurance for entesa. E be mo go tia be 2-3 days. E be also the same day 24 hours. Into BC Oba for major loss award over Kaya we tia more than 8 million euros or then about one company. Ti djuma ni de ye da mom nya nomination say so many atena wa 8 years e bi no kura ba from that 8 years e bi magije award na bobo so mombre because omo pese omo compete every year kire say ye gina ye na so
ye ko ayawaso north mensinimo na mensi crash panyini ya woda mensina no yonumunyamfo Mohammed Haruna Awal wakwa bie ICT labs mienu ano de ama Unity cluster of schools said be ya e ba na be for adesuamu a e be kire aka e homofra so.
As I said, for a very long time, almost ICT, all right, but they do it the manual way without computers. They don't have the tangibles to use to do to learn as it is required of them. But we thank God that this very day we've been able to provide them with 2 ICT laboratories that will aid their learning process. Nti yebompa say ICT laboratories ya yanye ebe bua nkola no ama omo ehun senya yusu efidie no de nyoma papa ebe ema Ayawaso North municipality so akonenim. Tell me say muhu ye say dwumadie ya na ne ya no no. Me advice me wodema nkola ne say omombo omohomoden na efidie ye de ama omo say omo fa nsuade no omo yire omo ho na omo ntumi nsuade no senya ebe ya omo daachi beye papa ama omo any community at large.
Mensu crash penya wada Ghana North Men's Assembly no ano eyunmunyam for akpete agbo na wade atu edwase niema pi wo hono a ewo se mensini no eye eba na kwan suku nwumasua eho nsam ni nyina ye niema bia aka echi nanso so wabo aboso se ne manfo nta na echi se de be ya obetumi akosa okon no ede afio.
How did you one, your school your classrooms no be second, your points and flooding issues, revenue, Sikamba, it's IGF agility in terms of revenue. And we are not able to embark on certain developmental projects or month where they teaching. Until on a mean say, Meshamukina, Nebetimi Eden, Ediabua Team 4. We hear quite bit to say, Popasi Katapo, Popasi, Mayra, and Omanjo. okay, friends and certain areas in Afiama, Ayawaso, okay, of North and South. All these areas, any route. It for the meantime, you very reshape and there's a better building kakraka to keep the rules in good shape. Whilst we are preparing, so at least you have a complete road there. All the previous rules now about that are not actually I want me the envy or give up. We'll try to also tackle them and see how best we can also complete them. Meeting when only assembly members but stakeholders for other stakeholders and a community will be at me baby at least we almost Juma assembly the AD and the plans assembly it's because they use our opportunity to tell them what the president also have for them and the assembly through the president now almost as a term where they ever took it is straight to for this almost support you almost almost Madiana Muse and yet say a day yet to inform so a trubia as a uti chama assembly as a uti which you are to say property with the opinion so that put you are also here a woman and it's where the family.
We are busanfo ye moshi na ye nko ye nua Jacob Kubi enchen ewo gomua ojobi ababe to dwase nipa bonfo bi akowiade wo ho ama bambo adwuma ye ni awo ho wonu makuno afa ne fo akoton asan wia ECD coils ahodo akwa akoton na Jacob na di nani ekopie so ye misa ne nsem ne mu pa eye awonfe ma han
bidizo mi na ba
be me na boye nsem ne mu sai pa na sitie
yo be busuma etwem 30th June adisha ewo umwa ojobi any akwiti omonte asemde kra na abandada etwem no oye ne se menti nyina no ode 1D1F ebeba homo adisha omwo gumwa akwiti any ojobi no omonfifi ho ano enyame ya adom ema abandada no ema sebi ase wo ho ana omoye omuguso omo ye no na enyama ewo site on na eyila nti hu behia se ombenya bamboni obebo ho ban nti papa bi a we bi 65 years a oti gomwa akweti ono na mpinifo ebo modern ede homan so onhwe ho so na otrema akronfo ba ho ebewia ne ba ko ema ye ko kwa story ante na 30 June na ye ti se eyekum obi ewo akweti ye ko ya na papa 65 years and a yedi policy bag at Tenelum and a yatan to the beach or at the Trinity at Nenai to Yahoma at the Trino at the two home and to offer a yet up so and our day say a year Nimqua. One or more years I did no, no, a year transformer, a see a year 1D1F Mianunano, almost to 2 a year transformers Nina, every home, almost year Munyama and almost the coy. Papa the phone so almost fire the count and almost the coy. And no bema addition omo wa gomwa akweti ede ojobi omubufu ye pa se that way I come to akoso wo home a omo champion for say ta kwai no omo modern no fa street light enta ho nyina enfensia enso me nu ka te bibisa embe mu akweti se papa ahwe ne nkwa
Jacob you see one district one factory ni bia yesi wo ho adwuma nkoso wo mu anase wo si wo boban wo ho workers ni ho
workers any ho omo kuso a omo ye hu eduma enye se eduma no moja omo kuso a omo ye nemum bambo ni obebo ho mo ban se na be ya konfo embe wia eniema ewo ho no ta papa no na me no ka sei omaje ne nkwa e de fini tim no
ti
omaje ne hello
me ti o Jacob kwaso
omo ji ne nkwa e de fini tim 30 June nim nti ade che wo bo ma akwete ni ojobi no mo bufu ye pa na na ombudi so bo ebo mpenifo a omuwuda eye bambo anu ewo ho se omambo ban ewo mantemu ho ye enti na yakum obi a bese bosom ni a omuntumi enti nipa no ta bra ade che no etentemu nyina apolitifo no na omuguso omuye omunsemu nhwehwemu pa ye afe phone na onkrofo no ewi aye no omu crazy phone sa no mo ko hu se phone omu wi aye no mo ko to mo obi ewo ye kaswa overhead na se ono so oyo obi a oto phone eton na police for akwakoche no omu chi no no so kire mu se phone no de ono so obi na beton ma no na ma no so ye e ma me no ka se wona ye susu se omu no mu kokum papa no ya chi ba ko e de aka eye de oto phone no ono so ye chi na o se anya mi nkwa o ye doso na odi a police for enim omu ko chi eye suspect ba ko e de ka ono no ka wona omu kokum papa no ehu na omu chi anu so wi na mo sisi bo eniama ye koto mo bi wa akra enti eye transformer ni mo nyama ni nyina no nipa na ye koto ma no ono wa akra me no ka se ono so eye gomo ojobi a police for akwakoche no me no ka se die ta enkofo enan ni nyina ewo eye ojobi police station omo gbo police for insanum nhwehwemu wona omu kobo eye kro na omu kum papa yi omu ye papa kunsia emu enan ejane ena ya ti emu mienu ena wona omu to eniema no so no eye mienu ndizia mi no ka se die enan ena abedi a police for nsemu ojobi a ye nsanum nhwehwemu
ahofe beda se papa na mi bisa se papa no 65 years na ho odin yesa ya chechire ne na chechire ne nsa chechire ne ti na emu owira mo kakra
sapere nebusi afọ ebe piemu oho omusun charge no ene ye bisa omo se eba ne se na papa we di 65 years otumi egbo eye ban wa ha no mo chomu so oyo obi a na oye atre ni a wa hodin pa ye ojina wa untumi enhu se oye eye 65 years penny nemo esan se me wona mo ko to che ne so no edo to che ni no na mo tumi gini nkwa edifini zemta
na yama na akodie bia se security a obo ban wo ho no oni yama ne hwe oni akodie bia a ono so betumi di abo ne ho ban
me ni ka se de eno de ye ko ho mo ne ye hu bibi ti se bia etu anasa se kan a o de bo ne ho ban anka ya ade ara o te atu no pra na o mu pra na ka ebe bita no ba edu ono wa hwe ne nkwa enti no ye ntime bita na ta
ye da se ahofe ye nua be ma Jacob Kubi ama ne boy a wodi free gomwa ojobi na ye kokotie ye no na ye komra hyebedwafi a edom kase no e de atu edwase se wo hwe kokko ntomo bo no aba no a ade a ebebo ama akuafo eho ha wonom kakra se de sika ne sitie bia yade a obi bese ebi abeka de na kane onipa no enya ne ho a ebebo ama ono nso so ne dwumadi a wodi no ne ho aha no wode nsem we nyina etu dwa ne nyina nam ensem anano omayefo to samfo de kotu dwa ese yede ntumubo aba ya sidi oha ene na chire eda so ede makuafo no ebinum akasa ho minority kura eyemonim nsem se wonom abosudwe tire se aban asisi akuafo no nanso so dom kase wo mrahye fie kire se wonom de omususu se yeketewe se te de no sika no ebi abeka ho a ebeboa makuafo no won ho aha wonom ekakra po akwa ewa asemi ento aso a yebo modene se yensa betumi aka no ahoma ne so na wato ne bo ase achechemu eye ede achen Dr. Eric afo na edi domonim ede nsem no toda Paul mahai yo praise akwa mahai hello praise otemenka
metonka pa joso
yo bebe na boy nsem ni musa de meka ye no sa nete ananche mu foforo bi wo akira o de aka ho amaye
no kura ye magana for akwaba mepiem wo United Television so na ene the shed of the majority side omo yensenchero for enhiemu ewo parliament na omo to nsafa yekupiem wo hono no mo ni yedi nkomo no opani a ono edi amanfo ni nyina ni shed of the no enim no Yewura John Afo Amanfu West na shebekani ono so na economic committee no opanipa economic committee no ono eda no na enu na o kire nsema hudu de kire Ghana fo ni wiase nyina se ene di amakoko sika sema na olanka manfo bi ka ho asemo a MPP fo bi de saw obodin omode ye propaganda no na we senka etumi ekosoro se de na etero na o kire mu ekire mu se wo se sa abra na 2023-24 de ba no na dollar rate no na is about 17 cedis per cedis ɛne dollar no sɛ na ɔmo ɛhye ɛda ɔmo ntɛm ɛno no na paabre no na tons ahodoɔ a ɔmo de tɔ no mmarahyɛ badwa fie no na ɛyɛ $4,000 o convert ba na kyerɛ sɛ kokoo sika no koraa no sɛ tɔn biara no anaasɛ bag wɔ ɔman Ghana mu ha no sɛ na ɔsan ka ɔmo tɔ no 5,400 Ghana cedis. That is according to the opinion chief sanka saa na ɔsɛ ɛtɔ kokoo no ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu ha no sɛ ɛna MPP foɔ ntumi amfa nkɔduru saa mpɛmpɛsoɔ no ɛna nyame nkyɛ de NDC ɛbaayɛ nti NDC bɛbɛpie mu yi na ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔmɔtumi ama Ghana cedis ne dollar no sisi ɛtumi ahyia ɔmo da no ɛnyɛ adeɛ a ɛyɛ threat bi ada obi antɛmu ɛne nti sɛdeɛ na nkɛte wɔ saa bɛ na nkɔfoɔ no ntumi ampagya mu ankɔnkɔduru saa mpɛmpɛsoɔ no sisi dollar no astabilize a biribiara aboɔ no asi aba fam ɛne nti na akate across all corners ne nyinaa a ɛnkɔgye sɛ bi akokoofoɔ nko akakye ɛno nti na mɛnam so a ama price a wɔsɛ nka ɔmo increase by then no ɛnɛ no akɔyɛ kakra di ɛde ato so no ɛsiane sɛ wohwɛ 17 cedis na aba 10 cedi 22 pesos na kyerɛ sɛ difference na ɛda ntam no ɛwa ɛno akyi no yɛwura kaafo saa kyerɛ mu bi mu sɛ koko scholarship ahodoɔ a abandadaa ɛyi firi hɔ nom no ɔmo san de aba koko akwan ahodoɔ a ɛyɛ ɔmo yi firi hɔ nom no ɔmo sa so de ne nyinaa ɛɛba wɔkyerɛ mu sɛ benefit ahodoɔ na ɛnam koko akuafoɔ so na ɔman Ghana ne ɔmo mma ne ɔmo abusua ɛnya na abandadaa ɛyi firi hɔ nom ne nyinaa no NDC aban ɛɛsan de aba ɛno nti sɛ ɔde saa nyima nyinaa to nsaneɛ ni a saa price na wɔsanka ɛkɔkɔdu sɛ mbi kaka no nyaadeɛ a ɛbɛtumi akɔduru hɔ saa nti wɔsrɛ Ghanafoɔ bi sɛ mo mfa deɛ MPP foɔ anaasɛ deɛ opposition ɛɛka no ɛmfa nyɛ asɛm sɛ wosu sɛ yɛda so ɛwɔ campaign berɛ mu ɛno nti na moyɛ campaign ɛwɔre kaafo saa kyerɛkyerɛ sɛm nyinaa kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛ deɛ NDC su mɔni nso sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ moyɛ no ɛno na ɔmbɛyɛ ma kuku akuafoɔ no atumi ate nsɛm dɛ ɛnyɛ deɛ obi ɛde yɛ politics.
Prince yɛda ase papaapa ɛne wama ne bɔ ɛbusuafoɔ yɛkɔ nsɛm foforɔ mu a road transport operators wɔn mo ɛde nsɛm bi aba abɔnten wɔkyerɛ sɛ road transport operators wukuada yi ɛyɛ August bosome ɛde ɛtɔ so nsia wɔn mo ɛde awɔn mo akwakohyia atuhyɛ a ɛhwɛ akwantempɔn ho nsɛm so ne ahyɛnfredie no ɛsɛ wɔn mo 20% ntomu bu a wɔso wɔde ba ka sika mu no wɔbɛtumi ayɛ bibi afa ho mpanyinfo atanse sesa adwen sese de wɔn mo akɔgye atom sɛ 20% ntomu bu no anka ɛba na no nyame yɛ adom efiada no wɔn atwene nyinaa asensen esan sɛ wɔsɛsɛ wɔn betu na mo ɛte sampo a wɔn mo nyinaa afa ne afa nyinaa ahyia na wɔgye tomu na wɔn mo nyinaa akɔ bankuro mu nti yɛntimi nkɔba sɛ fancy yɛ pene so fancy yɛ de yɛnka ho yɛnka nkyɛ nti sese wɔn mo te ase na akɔ wie sɛ 24th May 2025 15% and so no a yɛde ɛba yɛ ɛwɔ cash ntuadeɛ mu no ɛno a na ɛyɛ adwuma nti 20% na nkefiada wɔn mo de ba abɛtum ne deɛ sese yɛatwe asensa kosi sɛ wɔn bɛdi ano ba yɛ ɛwɔ saa agyinasie ho ansa na bibia wɔ hɔ a wɔn bɛ mo ɔmanfo aso ateye asɛmi owura Emmanuel Ankra National Vice Chairman ɛde GPRTU yɛ hyɛ TU ase TUC ase ɛna ɛde aba saa so ɛna yɛwura Emmanuel ɔhene yɛboa yɛ a ɔyɛ General Secretary ɛde Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council wɔnom ɛne wɔn sa ɛhyɛ aseɛ wɔama asoɛyɛ a ɛhwɛ ahyɛnfredie no krataa yi bi saa so ɛna asoɛyɛ a ɛhwɛ nkitahodie ho nsɛm so wɔabɔ akyia kɔma wɔnom Energy Ministry wɔnom abɔ wɔamanneɛ wɔ asɛm yi ho saa so ɛna National Petroleum Authority ɛne nsɛntwerɛfoɔ ɛne all regional coordinating directors so yama wɔnom krataa yi bi sɛ 20% increment no ntomobo no say de ya twentwen eno ase enya adwuma dada no ana egyina mu ye home so na ye ba bongo difara abobo akodiem no nsema no a ode beto aye so ye ba sisia
Prem to break us ye boy eye Ecobank adaroma eno waso yasene ama ye de bro